Call the select board meeting for January 11th at 4:01 to order. DCTV, could we have the flag, please? Hello, there we go. There we go. Could you please rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance with me? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could all please remain standing for a moment of silence for all the men and women, past and present, who help protect us and our great country, as well as the healthcare workers who continually stand between us and the pandemic. Thank you very much. If you choose. Okay. Is there a warrant, Sean?
Let me check in a minute if there's one out there. It's not on my desk, but actually, let me go grab it. See.
Okay.
Yeah, it says signing of the warrant.
If there is one, that's why I asked.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
Because we did, yeah, it's always on the agenda because we did one last week. So
Yes, we do have a warrant.
okay. Well, we need a motion to approve the warrant and to authorize Mr. McGinnis to stamp it for us.
So moved. Make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
thank you. So we have a motion and a second. So a roll call, Stanley,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
yes. Okay, takes care of that part of the business. Okay, so new business. We have an appointment of Joe Braga for a building inspector. Is he here or?
No, I didn't ask him to attend, so he was at the previous meeting. This is just a formality with the state, a form that needs to be signed, but it needs to be signed by the chair of the select board. So I didn't know if the board wanted to vote as a whole to have me sign it for the chair and get it submitted so that he is officially certified with the state.
Okay, it would have been nice to introduce him to the community, but so if he's knocking on people's doors, they know.
Oh, you know what? I was having him in on the, and I apologize. He was in our department head meeting and he met everybody and I confused it with the select board meeting. I'll have him in on the 25th to meet everybody.
Okay, that'll work.
Make a motion that we authorize Mr. McGinnis to sign the state form to make it official that Joe Braga is the department head for the building inspection services.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Mickelson,
Yes.
Mr. Tattlebaum,
Yes.
Mr. Herron,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald,
Yes.
and myself, yes.
All right. Do you want me to sign that for you?
That's
Frank?
that's what the motion was for.
Okay.
Item B, conditional offers of employment. This is for police cadets. Mr. Levesque, Chief Levesque, you're welcome to be here and the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the board taking the time to consider my request for the conditional offer of employment for a police officer candidate. As I stated in my letter, our intent is to have a student officer attend the next academy, which is in Plymouth and begins on March 1st. Currently, academies are operating at a reduced capacity due to COVID restrictions and available seats are limited. On January 4th, we held a recruit orientation that consisted of the top 5 candidates from the current civil service list. Our field training officers reviewed their applications, conducted employment interviews, and administered initial screening tests. This orientation was immediately followed by background investigations on the remaining candidates. Trevor Gregoire, who's joining us this evening, successfully completed this portion of our hiring process and was recommended. Mr. Gregoire is 21 years old and a graduate of Dartmouth High School. He is a former marching band member and lifelong Dartmouth resident. He holds an associate's degree in criminal justice from Bristol Community College and is currently working towards attaining his bachelor's degree from Bridgewater State University. Mr. Gregoire currently works as an asset protection associate at Stop and Shop and has experience apprehending shoplifters and handling difficult situations. Through his background investigation, he was found to be of good character, made positive and lasting impressions on his employers, has a strong work ethic and desire to become a police officer. I request the board issue Mr. Gregoire a conditional offer of employment so we can continue with our selection process. Thank you.
And you indicated there are others. What is going to be the spacing for the others based on COVID?
The others, what I was referring to is the academies are basically running at half capacity. So they're only accepting half as many student officers as they usually are. So we're looking to get one into the next academy.
Okay, and others to follow with other openings?
Others to follow. We do have openings. Like I said, right now we started out with 5 candidates. We ended up recommending only 1 out of those 5.
Okay.
So we're going to continue with our selection process with additional candidates in the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion to approve conditional offers of employment.
We have a hand up, John.
I thought we were in a no hiring phase during this COVID. And my second question would be, did the chief inform the applicant that we may be laying off people in the near future?
The hiring was for non-essential employees. Public safety, particularly police officers, are considered essential.
Okay, but then my second question is, I wondered if the chief notified the new applicant that we in the future we're going to be laying people off.
We don't know that for certain. So we make every effort in our budgeting to keep our current employees employed. So we don't notify them that there's going to be layoffs. We certainly instruct all the staff as part of the budgeting to evaluate their budgets and to be able to make those type of accommodations if necessary in the future. But right now we're not planning on any type of layoffs.
Okay, David?
Well, I would also add that back when we approved the contract, it was made clear, certainly by me, and I think it was part of the meeting, that we were happy to, I speak for myself, happy to okay that contract, knowing that if and when the time ever came, and hopefully it never does, that layoffs certainly could be a possibility. At this point in time, we have no idea, but down the road, we made it pretty clear to the police department, the chief, that may be the case. And if it does happen, it's not going to be a surprise because we made it clear at that meeting when we approved that contract.
That's true, but per John's question, that could be a surprise to somebody new, so.
It goes back to, essential employees are particularly the police department. So when we would be looking at layoffs, it would certainly, essential employees would not be the first to be laid off. So, but we evaluate when that time comes, as we go through the budget process and start to get numbers from the state, we'll evaluate those and take those into consideration.
Well, we also made it clear to the chief, and it's up to him to communicate that to his, not only his staff, but also any new hires as well. It's not our job.
Okay, we have a motion before we continue. Mr. Gregoire, welcome. And is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes. Hi, I'm Trevor Gregoire. So the chief introduced me. Just want to say I'm a lifelong resident of Dartmouth, and I'm graduated here. So I'm excited to hopefully, it's not for sure yet. I still got to pass a bunch of stuff, but as of now, I'm excited to begin trying to make the community better. That's what it's all about. I was in the marching band, so I felt like I was doing something good for Dartmouth when we were winning championships and stuff. And when I went to college, I figured that I wanted to do something to help the community again. I missed that feeling of helping out Dartmouth because I love this town. So I thought it'd be a good idea to apply to be a police officer. And now we're here. So I'm excited. It's a beginning of a journey, and I look forward to helping this town out in any way I can.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
As part of the process, if you get hired, we swap you a trombone for a gun. So.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Mr. Mickelson made a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Mickelson,
Yes.
Talbot, please.
Yes.
Mr. Herron,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald,
Yes.
and me, yes. Congratulations. You're on your
Good
way.
luck.
And Trevor, you look great in a suit and a tie, buddy.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm looking
Ready?
forward to this journey.
Good choice, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay. Item
Thank
E,
you.
Alan Decker, 61A amendments. Mr. Decker, floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you this afternoon. And contrary to what the agenda actually says, as opposed to a Chapter 61 amendment, this is actually a proposed conservation restriction amendment. Dexter Mead is on the meeting as well with us from DNRT, and I should make sure everybody understands or knows that I'm Alan Decker with the Buzzards Bay Coalition, and we jointly are presenting this opportunity to amend this conservation restriction over a component of the last element of our protection of the former Webb estate, which was comprehensively located on Bakerville Road. And we've brought two other components through the approval process. This is just the last one. This is the former estate house with its surrounding property. The reason that this is an amendment is that Dartmouth Natural Resources Trust actually held a conservation restriction over 2 acres of the property. On the map that I provided you, it would be the little bump out that points north. That 2 acres, they hold this vestige CR, if you will. This CR was actually initially placed with the precursor to the YMCA, the Children's Museum. DNRT and the Children's Museum put a CR over what was the Children's Museum property and now is the South Coast Y Dartmouth facility. They restated that CR, leaving out the 2 acres because the 2 acres had been purchased by Ms. Webb, Ruth Webb, and it got separated. Then we came along, the coalition came along, worked out an acquisition with the Webb family for their property, worked with DNRT to do the Dyke Creek Reserve, which is the larger parcel on that map, a little over 76 acres, publicly accessible, along with the town. We hold the CR there. Then we did a conservation restriction over the working vineyard. You may remember that coming through the approval process. And as I said, what we're looking to do now is expand the 2 acres of CR to the entire the 23 acre parcel, although we're going to exclude 1.5 acres from the conservation restriction, and the 1.5 acres would be around the existing house and the immediately landscaped area thereby. This is an expansion of protection. Hey, Dexter, see ya on the camera. Appreciate you being here. We're expanding the coverage, the conservation restriction. The CR has been reviewed by the state, and on balance, they find the amendment to be positive towards conservation. So they've been in favor of it. I know town council has had the opportunity to review the amendment. A couple of items we've worked through with town council, and it's my understanding that Attorney Cruz is now satisfied with the document as it stands. And what we are seeking from you this afternoon is the Board of Selectmen's consent that putting this conservation restriction, amending it to encompass the entire property, is in the public interest because it conserves property, falls within town strictures on wanting to preserve open space. The property will enable agricultural pursuits on a portion of the property, and the maintenance and management of the larger forested area. So don't want to belabor any points. Dexter, I'd be happy to have you speak at this point if you'd like to, but as I said, we're looking for your consent that this is in the public interest, and we're happy to answer any questions. But before we do, Dexter, I don't want to take up all of it.
I don't really have anything. Dexter Mead, I'm director of the Dartmouth Natural Resources. I don't really have anything to add, but I'm happy to answer questions.
Any questions from the board?
So I just want to be clear, there's this 20-foot wide access easement. Is that what you're talking about? No?
No, sir. The property has frontage on Bakerville Road. It is a somewhat convoluted parcel.
Yeah.
It's the parcel in red on the map,
Yeah, yep.
and it is narrow up through off of the road through to the rest of the property.
Yep,
That's by design. That's how we were able to reconfigure the estate parcel and encompass, when we were doing the vineyard property, encompass the farm complex in the farm parcel, in the vineyard parcel, which on this map, as you'll see, it's the Aponagansett Bay Farm conservation restriction. That in and itself is confusing because the two properties have very similar names, thanks to the new owners. But there's not a 20-foot access easement that's in discussion right now.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure about that.
Sure.
Great. It's a beautiful piece of property.
It's a nice component to complete the protection of the larger property. That's for sure. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah, no question about it. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions, comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Move to accept.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Mickelson,
Yes.
Mr. Tattelbaum,
Yes.
Mr. Herron,
Yes.
Mrs. McDonald,
Yes.
and me, yes.
Wonderful.
So you're all set.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
One comment, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
My wife and I have been able to use many trails over the last few weeks, and just like to make a public acknowledgement that they're clean, they're safe. It's incredible. We are so lucky to have what we do in this town, kind of trails and variety available to us. Saw young kids as young as 1, 2, and 3 years old, and seniors like me walking through the place. So it's just an incredible asset we have. And thanks for the DNIT to keep it going all this time.
Thank you very much. And thanks for all your support.
Yes, we really do appreciate it on all fronts.
You know, Alan and Alan and Dexter, you two work very well together. You identified properties in the best interest of the town, and for no other reason but to save our valuable land. And I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Really appreciate that.
Quite welcome.
Very good. So, Mr. McInnes, I can coordinate with you on the signature page?
Correct, yep.
Very good.
That
All right.
tomorrow morning, today, tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning would be wonderful.
Right after the morning, right after the meeting, you can come pick it up tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Thanks, Sean.
Yep. Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Anyone else? Comments? Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Mr. Mickelson,
Yes.
Mr. Tattelbaum,
Yes.
Mr. Herron,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald,
Yes.
and me, yes. We are adjourned. Thank you all.